All right. We are live. Okay, cool. So welcome everybody who is here. This is our Saturday new member orientation slash community mastermind for the weekend, right? I guess this is 4th of July weekend, actually. So it's kind of funny that we were going back and forth. Should we do a webinar on a weekend of a holiday? But we're the crazy ones that like to wake up in the morning. So we do this every day, actually. This is just a cool special one that we invite guests to. So if you're a guest, hello, say hi on the page. There'll be a comment section below, and you can interact with us, and we'll check that page throughout this live and answer questions if you have questions. But this is just to get to know our community. But I'm going to be introducing you to who's going to be leading us through this mastermind. So let me share my screen real quick. And so right now, I'm about to bring to the stage Mr. Paul, the Freedom Crusader Hutchings, who's a former call center cubicle worker turned home business owner extraordinaire. He lives with his beautiful wife, Corrine, and their 4 rambunctious young boys in Southeast Idaho. Paul went from struggling in direct sales, living in a trailer house, to becoming the #1 recruiter and producer in his nutritional network marketing company. He served on the leadership council of 2 different companies and has been recognized as a top producer in every project he's thrown his heart into since 2009. His main passion in life is serving those who are serious about finding success in direct sales, and does this mainly through his leadership responsibilities with the Home Business Academy, which is the company Paul and I co-founded in 2016. And what that little thing says, that's his background. But also, one thing I really admire about Paul is A, his loyalty, right? B, I've never had a business partner who has inspired me to become a better person every single day. Like, in fact, we do daily Zooms now because we wanted to hold each other accountable. We're thinking about opening up another Zoom for health, right? And getting in shape in the morning. So he's always keeping me accountable, helping me become a better person. He's helping me become debt free. That's another thing that wasn't mentioned there. He's a big proponent of being a debt free and then have financial freedom on top of that, and that's real true peace of mind. In fact, he pays cash for his cars. Most people get a car loan. And so I know his recent purchase was his dream car, a Tesla, which I'm pretty jealous about. I think it's cool. And I mean, yeah, anyone can just go get a Tesla on a loan. Like, I could go get a Tesla on a loan right now. Like, my credit's good enough. I could just go get a car payment, $1,000 a month car payment easily. But that's not the way that we do it here. We do it in a principle-centered way. And one of the principles is to be debt free. So if we want a nice car, we earn the car, right? We don't put it on credit. And that's one thing I really admire about Paul. So anyway, with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Mr. Paul Hutchings. The crowd goes wild.
Yeah, give myself an applause. And you. Thanks so much, Mike. Appreciate the great introduction. And thanks to all of you for being here on a Saturday morning. I think the fact that you're here says something very special about you. I think it says that you're someone who's on a path of growth. I think it says you have an open mind. I think it says you're open to ideas and inspiration and information that can help you make changes and create a better future for yourself. And I'm curious if what I just said describes you. If it does, put a yes in the chat. I really want to engage with you guys today. And I am excited. I'm excited to be here with you. I was on my way home from the gym this morning thinking about getting on this Zoom, and I started to get energy. I get energy when I'm around people who are, out there to change their lives and out there to change the world. And really, I think that's what we're striving to do here today together on this Zoom, and also in the various business enterprises that we may be engaged in. And so that fires me up, that pumps me up. And I was thinking also about times in my life where I've been on a Zoom and I heard something that made a huge difference for how my life was going to work out. And I'm curious if you guys have if you can think of a time when you were in a group of people and you heard a message that made a difference for you. I think that's part of the goal today. Again, thank you so much for being here. My goal is to say something today that can make a difference for you, because I've had mentors do that for me over the years, and it's made all the difference in how my life has worked out. As Mike mentioned a little bit of my story, I went from living in a 1984 single wide trailer house. I was living here in Idaho, where I live. If you ever come to Idaho, especially my home city, we're the potato capital of the world. Isn't that the coolest thing ever? My mission is to get that changed to the freedom capital of the world. Just kidding. That'd be great if we could, but no. So anyway, my story was I was raised in a single parent home. I have one younger sister. And we grew up poor on money, but rich on love. And I was looking for mentorship as a kid. I think as we all are, whether we know it or not, I think we're all looking around in the world, trying to find our way. And one of the ways that we find our way is we look at other people and we see how they're acting, and we look at people that maybe are authority figures in our lives, or we observe, people who seem to be having it together, and we try to figure out, like, hey, what are they doing that's working? And so as a kid, going to school and sitting in class, the teachers would say, hey, you kids want to be successful, don't you? And I'm like, yeah, of course. And they said, well, if you want to be successful, what you really need to do is work hard in school, study hard, get good grades, and go to college, get a degree. And that's the formula for success. And so I listened, and that's what I did. And I went to college and I got a bachelor's degree in business administration. And I came out of school thinking that, I was going to just get out there and achieve all my goals and dreams, and I was going to live happily ever after. And I was somewhat disappointed to find out that college degree that I got in business landed me a job in a call center making $11.09 an hour, which honestly was disappointing for $40,000, which is what my degree cost. And I didn't have the money for it. So I went in debt for it. So, for 40 grand, I was supposed to, the college recruiter who came to my home and visited me and told me, about how amazing the school was, said, Paul, if you come to this school, it'll cost $40,000, but when you graduate, you'll start out making $60,000 a year. And so that made sense to me, 60 grand every year. I could pay that loan off pretty quick, and then just rise from there. Well, again, what ended up happening was that thing that was told to me didn't turn out to be true. In other words, that college recruiter overpromised and under-delivered with my job in the cubicle. And that's one of the things that we want to do here today, and in everything that we do, is never overpromise anything, never oversell anything. We want to do the very best that we can to use our words to describe truth. And the great thing about truth is there are a lot of things to be excited about when we tap into what I believe to be our principles of the universe and life and the world. Good ideas. There are laws, I think, that if we put ourselves in tune with, we can really create many, many benefits for ourselves. So that's a little bit of a tangent, but back to the story. So I'm working in this cubicle thinking, oh my gosh, this isn't a great, this isn't the best situation. $11.09 an hour. I'm not going to be able to pay off my student loan debt very quickly. And furthermore, I'm starting to want to start my life. So I got married to my beautiful wife, Corrine, and we bought this 1984 single wide mobile home. And one of the reasons we bought that home was because I was making $11.09 an hour. So we couldn't really afford that much more. We parked the single wide mobile home on my grandpa's land. And from my single wide mobile home, every day I would travel to my cubicle back and forth, Monday through Friday, put my white shirt on. They required a white shirt, button-up shirt, tie, slacks. And that was my introduction to the job world. I quickly realized, it didn't take long for me to realize that that path was not the best path for my future. And I could tell you a lot of stories of things that happened there, but I'm curious, raise your hand if you've ever had a job or you have a job right now that you feel like or felt like was not the best path for your best future, that maybe wherever you were was less than you were on the inside. You know, I think we're all great on the inside. I think we have unlimited potential on the inside. And if we're in environments where that greatness, that inner light is not nourished and spoken to, and that flame isn't fanned, it starts to feel, or it can start to feel like we're dying. And we got some hands raised. Calvin, Ralph, thank you guys so much for tuning in and engaging. But it starts to feel like we're dying on the inside a little bit. At least that's how I felt. You know, and maybe it is true that we have our physical health and then we have our inner health, which might be psychological, might be spiritual. But I think all of those, we want to nourish those, and we want to, you know, feed those and allow those to come out in the best way they can. So anyway, working in a cubicle, and it felt like my body was in a cubicle, and it felt like my soul was in a cubicle as well, a box. There's a lady named Nora Robertson, and she has a quote that said something to the effect of, most of us are not looking for a job, we're looking for a calling. For most of us, jobs are too small for our spirits. And I think that's the case. So I was open, I guess, during that time to finding some ideas and some information, you know, going back to what I said at the start of the Zoom here today. Has there been a time where there some information came to you that just changed everything? And for me, as I think back on my story, there were two situations that happened that were like this. One was I had a coworker who approached me in the hall one day and asked me if I might be open to looking at a way to grow a big residual income and help people at the same time. And I said, of course, I'd be open to looking at that. And he positioned it in a great way. One way, a way that was appealing. And so he invited me to this meeting. So I went to this meeting, and this guy on the front of the room had this whiteboard out, and he talked about building a residual income. And he talked about how you could build an income that once it was built, continue to dump into your bank account over and over and over again. In other words, it would take work in the beginning, but once you had it in place, it would disconnect your time from your money and allow you to be free. And I was sitting there with my pregnant wife. She was pregnant with our first son, Caden, at the time. And I was looking at that, and I was comparing my paths. I was comparing the path that I was in at the time in this cubicle, where things were happening, like, you know, the company was sending me out of town. They sent me out of town on my first year wedding anniversary so that I couldn't attend that. I couldn't be there with my wife. And then later on, after I did that, they had me in a review, and they said, Paul, you're doing good here, 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 and here. But the one place you're not doing great in is, they said, we're concerned about your performance in one area. And I said, really, where's that at? And they said, your loyalty to the company. And I said, what do you mean loyalty to the company? I mean, I'm here every day early. I work through lunch. I stay late. I do everything you ask and more. And he said, well, there was this time we invited you to, you know, go do this meeting down in Phoenix, and you hesitated. And I said, well, I hesitated. It was my wedding anniversary, and I just wanted to check with my wife to make sure it would be okay with her. He said, yeah, we want the company to come first. And so that experience showed me, at least for me, that path might not be the best for me. So I had this path on the left, and then I had this other path where this guy was talking about unlimited income, unlimited possibility, you know, being in groups of people that inspire you and help you grow, being able to contribute and not just grow a big income, but really change people's lives. And it was an easy choice for me. I said, okay, this other path is for me, this entrepreneurial path. And so that's when I got started in my first home-based business. And while I was in that first home-based business, thinking about information that came along and made the difference, Gio says, for sure, the job never matches our worth. Linus says, actually, the job undervalues your effort and your time. Yeah, absolutely. And by very definition of a job, The reason entrepreneurs have employees, or at least one reason, is so that those employees can provide an ROI, a return on investment. So you can't pay employees more than the position is worth. And so yeah, I mean, it really just can kind of keep us stuck. Calvin says he loves his job and the pay is quite well. Awesome. Very cool, Calvin. I think you're very fortunate. And there are people like you out into the world, and that's great. And if you love it and the pay is great, that's fantastic. And I appreciate that you're open to more. I think being open to more is always a good thing. So thanks for sharing that. Paul says, I've looked at a lot of programs and I can tell you from experience that this is the most well thought out program I have seen. Training is exceptional and support is unprecedented. Thank you so much. So Paul's referencing one of the things I'm going to be sharing with you today, and depending upon whether you already know about our community and our products and our business opportunity or not, I'm going to be sharing with you some things, hopefully, that can benefit both categories of people. And if you're just here for the first time, if a guest invited you here today, again, my goal is to share some things with you that can really impact your life in a positive way, and also show you what I believe to be one of the best, if not the best, way to grow a residual income in the entire world in a way that makes your heart sing, as I like to say. Would you guys like your heart to sing? Do you like that phrase? A way that just makes you feel amazing. I see Amy smiling. So thanks, Amy. So it looks like you want your heart to sing. But so that's what Paul's referencing. We do have something to show you today that might really, truly be life-changing. Of course, you'll have to be the judge of that. Anyway, thanks again for all the comments. I'm not going to read all the rest of them right now. But so the first company I joined had this recommended reading list. And one of the things that was interesting about my journey was, after I got out of college, I didn't think I ever needed to really read another book or, learn any additional information other than what was maybe right directly in front of me at the job. But this company that I joined had this recommended reading list. And they said, if you want to be successful, it's a good idea to begin reading some of these books. So one of the books on that list was Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Have you guys read that book? Raise your hand if your Zoom is live. If you have, if you're not live, thank you. So Clive's read it. Lannis has read it. Williams read it. I found, that's Booty. Hey, Booty. High five. Good to see you. And you can comment in the chat if you've read it. But that book, just real quick, thinking about ideas that change lives. In that book, Robert Kiyosaki was teaching about the ways there are to make income. And he says, you can make money as an employee, which is the highest taxed category. So not only can it be, not in all cases, but can it be a situation where you're not earning what you want and you're not feeling like you're growing in the way that you want to grow, but it's also the highest taxed category. So as an employee, again, that's definitely something to be aware of. And if you are an employee, one of the great ways to reduce your tax burden is to start a business. You can start a home-based business. You can start a side hustle. And if you do that, now all of a sudden you can take, and I'm not an accountant, so, check with your accountant, disclaimer. But what I found is you can take a lot of the expenses that were just the normal part of your everyday life, but now can be applied to business use. And then you can deduct those from your taxes. And that's one way to just quickly reduce your tax burden as an employee. But anyway, Robert Kiyosaki said, employee, not much control over your income, kind of stuck, pay highest taxes. Next category is to become self-employed, where and this is what he says self-employed is where you own your job. It's like you're working in a company and you're like, hey, I could do this better than these guys are doing it. I'm going to go start my own thing and I'm going to be in charge and, I'm going to make the money that I want to make. And that's going to be better because I'm going to be the man or the woman or the boss. So you leave and you start your own business and now you're self-employed. And what Robert Kiyosaki outlined to me in that book was, not everything is what it seems. And he started talking about how when you're self-employed, what you've done is you've went from having a job to owning a job, But it's even a little worse than that, because now that you own the job, you're responsible for everything. So you have new responsibilities like customer acquisition, customer service, unhappy customers, happy customers. You've got all of it, billing. You've got all of these things that you now have. So now you're not just doing the thing that you thought was the valuable thing at the job, but now you're adding sales, marketing, all these other things to the equation. And he said, that's really not the path to wealth. And I'm like, okay, well, what's the path to wealth? Because he says, these are the things that the middle class, lower middle class, and poor people do. And he said, the wealthy people, they operate over on this other side. And he said, what wealthy people do is they become business owners, and then they become investors. And what's a business owner, and how's that different from being self-employed? Well, a business owner, the part of the goal of the business owner is that the business owner is not doing everything within the business, but is owning the business and using systems and people to organize the activities. And as an owner, there are more benefits than being self-employed. And so I thought, okay, that looks good. And then he said, you want to take that money from being a business owner, and then you want to invest it in income producing assets. And as he was describing this, he used a metaphor that just like took a branding iron. You guys know what a branding iron is? I'm from Idaho. Sorry for the farm reference. Branding iron is an iron that they get really hot, and then they stick it on the side of a cow. So sorry for the cow. That's very sad. The ranchers here, they'll stick that brand so that they know which cows are theirs. And once that brand is seared into the side of the cow, it's there forever. And this idea that Robert Kiyosaki passed along to me was like he branded my brain, and I could not get this idea out of my head. And the idea was this idea of pipeline money. He talked about building a pipeline from the marketplace to your bank account with systems and tools and processes to where you do the work to build the pipeline. But then once the pipeline is built, again, like I referenced earlier, that pipeline is pumping water 24/7. You don't have to be there for the water to pump. It just continues to flow. And he said, you can make money this way. And I got this visualization of this pipeline with all of these cash dollar bills flowing continuously through the pipeline. And in my mind, I thought, okay, that's so amazing. I mean, I can go up to this pipeline and just kind of like say, good job, pipeline. Keep doing the work. I appreciate the prosperity. I'll be back to check on you later. And then while the pipeline is doing the work, I'm off doing whatever it is that I want to do. Spending time with my family, going on vacation, serving in places that I want to serve. I'm on the school board here in our local area. I'm actually the chairman, believe it or not. You guys are thinking, what crazy school system would have Paul be the chairman of the board? But yeah, it's possible. But part of the reason that I accepted that role is because I have the time and I want to give back. I want to make my community a better place. I'm not locked in somewhere. So my time is flexible. I can play the guitar in the middle of the day if I want, and that's freedom. And when I thought about that idea, I thought, I've got to do that. I've got to figure out a way to make it happen. It's worth it, to be home for my kids. I've got 4 boys. In fact, I'll just quickly show you a picture of my kids because it's good to, it's good to get to know each other here. This is my family, my wife, Corrine, Camden. He's my second oldest. This is Caden, my oldest, Cashton, my youngest, and Kyson, he's my third. And that's my family. And when these guys were little kids, man, I just really wanted to be there with them. I didn't want to be leaving them every day. I wanted to just, have a chance to experience the growth of my kids and be there for the special moments, be there for the baseball games, be there for the moments where I could help them, and just one quick example, the other day, my kids, they've got smartphones and they love them so much, maybe more than they love us. No, I don't think that's true, but sometimes it feels that way. And we have our kids turn their smartphones in at a certain time of the night. So the other day, my oldest son, I said, hey, you gotta, turn your smartphone. So he comes in and he's got a charger next to my bed and he puts the thing down and then he walks out. And a little bit later, my wife comes in and she said, did Caden turn in his phone? And I said, yeah, he did. And she looked down and she said, oh, that's not his phone. I said, what do you mean? And she said, that's a fake phone. That's his old phone that's not working. And I was shocked that he had done that. And I went back and I said, give me your phone. And he gave me my phone, gave me the phone, and I let him know that wasn't okay. And then he went to sleep, and I took his phone. He didn't have his phone for the whole next day. But then the day after, we're out here working in this building that we bought to build a home gym and a family rec center. And he's out there with me. And I said, Caden, do you understand why it's not good to deceive people? And he said, I don't know. And I said, what is the damage to you if you deceive people? What do you think, Caden? And he said, well, people won't trust you. And I said, that's right. And I said, Caden, in life is much easier if you have people around you to help you, whether that's your family, your friends, people in business, your customers. And if you deceive them, they won't want to be around you, and life will be much harder. Does that make sense, Caden? He said, yeah, that makes sense. I said, I want you to be successful, son. So, don't deceive people. Tell people the truth. Be good to people, and life will be much, much better for you. And I had that opportunity in the middle of the day. I think it was like 2:00, middle of the work week, to be there for my son. And, a lot of times when people talk about making a lot of money and building freedom, they show the cars and the fancy houses and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to cast negativity on that. I think whatever your dream is, that's great. But I think there's more to it than that. There's more substance there to building a life of freedom. There's more to talk about. I am excited about the home. We were able to buy our dream home in the country, 7 acres, pay off the mortgage. I can't believe that happened, honestly. Living in a trailer, a few years later, got our dream property all paid off. Mike said we just bought a Tesla, which we did, which is not something I do all the time. I drive used cars all my life. I've driven used cars, and I'm okay with used cars. I love used cars because they allow me to save money so that I can build my freedom. That's what I've done. Save money. Why save money? So you can have a little more flexibility to build a business on the side if that's where you're doing it. Maybe then go full time. And then, take that money, be wise with it, invest it so you can be free. So that's been my philosophy for all this time. But we're in a situation where we've got, more prosperity, thankfully, more flexibility, thankfully. And I've always wanted a Tesla. It was part of my dream. And I want to share something with you guys real quick. Mike mentioned that I inspire him every day. Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate that. I was looking for personalized license plates for my new car. And, I want to have a message that can be beneficial to people as I'm driving around, and so I come up with that little license plate, Inspire. That's available here in Idaho where I live. This might be the one I choose. Believe. This is one of my favorite words in the world. I think it's good to believe, guys. It's good to believe in the good. It's good to believe in your better future. It's good to believe in yourself. It's good to believe in people. It's good to believe in the goodness of life. I love that. And here's another one I got, dreams. It's a little 4 for the A. And then the last one, growth. These are the license plates that we picked that I'm looking at. So I haven't picked one out yet, but yeah, the car, it's amazing that I have that and I could pay cash for it. And it's all a result of taking that path that was presented to me all of those years ago that someone showed me, in that rundown warehouse with my pregnant wife sitting next to me. And, was it easy? It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. It was so worth it. And if I could say anything today that you could remember and take away, I really would love to encourage you to always go for your dreams. And it's always worth going for your dreams. In fact, I took my friend to lunch yesterday to show him the new car. And he's heard me say, always go for your dreams for 20 years now. He's here local, and he's known me for so long. And he always has heard me say that. And I say that a lot in my marketing, always go for your dreams. I think it's a good idea to go for your dreams. If we don't have a dream to look forward to, life becomes much less exciting, I think. I think that a life without a dream is like breath without oxygen. It does something for you to have something inspiring to look forward to. So yeah, so this business has made a huge difference on my life, and I'm so excited to share with you, what we've put together. We've put together something I believe very special. Mike and I, we've been building businesses from home for almost 2 decades, all for the dream of residual income. And one of the things that we ran into on our journey is challenges to building residual income. And what are those challenges? Just simply where you're with businesses that say they want to help you build residual income, but then do things that are not helpful to building residual income. I mean, it seems pretty simple to me, but it's very common. You join something, you get presented this idea of residual income, and you're like, yes, that makes total sense. I want that. Let's go. And so you make the decision to get started, and you set out on the path, and you're working and you're learning and you're producing results, and you're starting to see your income grow. And then things happen that are not the best. Like just a few examples on our journey. Company goes out of business. That's one of the worst ones, common ones, worst ones, because when the company goes out of business, all your money goes away, all your residual income goes away. And that's something to be aware of. If you're looking at joining us or joining some other type of business, one thing I would say is be aware that the vast majority, and I'll speak, I know this is true in the network marketing arena. I'm not positive about the affiliate marketing arena, but I have a sense that it is, that the vast majority of new companies are out of business within the first year or two. So whatever you're looking at as a business model, as a vehicle to grow your residual income and grow your future, it's very important that you find something that you can trust long-term. Very important. There's the metaphor from the Bible that I like. The wise man built his house upon the rock. The foolish man built his house upon the sand. When the rains came down, the floods came up, the house on the sand washed away. You want to build your residual income house on a rock if you can. So it's worth taking the time, whatever time you need to take to do the research, to know that whatever it is you're joining or doing is going to be around. And that's one of the big reasons Mike and I started the Home Business Academy, which is a company that we're here to talk about today. We wanted something that we could trust long-term, that we knew would be there for us in the future. And we had come to a point in our journeys where we just weren't super confident that we could find a company that we could trust. And that was just, 2 decades of experience of joining and building and joining and building and joining and building. And so we said, hey, we got to do something different to serve ourselves and the people that we want to serve off into the future. And then the second thing that we wanted to do, and that I think is very important, whether you join us or whether you join something else, you want to be in something that's in alignment with your values and the things that you feel are important and who you are on the inside. I like the word alignment. One of our top affiliates here, Amy Starr Allen, she has a show she does called Living in Alignment. What does it mean to live in alignment? Well, on an individual level, I think living in alignment means you know what you believe, you know what your values are, the things you feel are important, and then you act out in the world those things. You live in alignment with what's up here, with your philosophy, and you don't do things that are contrary to that. And that's an important way, I think, to live a good life. But then with a business, it's important that you're with a group of people and with a company that are in alignment with that, because if you're in a company that does things that you don't think are good, now it becomes very hard, if not impossible, to feel good about sharing those products or that business model with the people that you're endeavoring to share it with. And so with the Home Business Academy, our vision is freedom through principle-centered leadership. We've got 2 core founding values: quality, simplicity, and putting people first. And then we have a whole list of other principles that we follow and believe in, Have a definite major purpose, which is really a dream. What's your dream? What's your goal? What's that one thing that you're thinking about that lights you up at night when you go to sleep and lights you up in the morning? That one thing. When I first got started, it was $3,000 a month residual income, because that's about what I was making at my job. And I thought, oh, if I could just do this, oh, it'd be amazing. There'd be a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I would never have to have a job again. I could have all my free time. That was the one thing for me. So we believe in having a definite major purpose, whether that's here with us or whether that's somewhere else. That's important, I think. That's a fundamental truth of living a good life. We believe in self-confidence, believing in yourself, believing in others, seeing the seed in people. We've got this metaphor in our community. It's the oak tree. And there are a lot of meanings for this oak tree, but one of them is that when we look upon people, we like to think that we're not seeing the full tree of what that person can become. In other words, we're seeing an acorn. I think back when I first got started driving around old beat up Honda Civic, broke. I went over to my aunt and uncle's house, by the way, to show them my business. And my aunt and uncle, they're very successful. They live in this $1 million plus multi-million-dollar house. And I drove over there in my used car and unboxed this box of juice that I was selling and walked into the house and said, hey, here's how we can make some extra money. And I think they laughed at me a little bit. And of course they didn't join. Have belief in yourself to know that guy, that Paul that was driving that old used car and getting rejected by his aunt and uncle, that wasn't who Paul was going to be 5 years later and 10 years later. That was just a little seed. It would have been really easy for someone to look at me where I was living in that trailer and to say, he's not doing well. That guy doesn't have much in him. But that would have been a mistake. It would have been a mistake. And I think it's a mistake for all of us to do that when we look at people. Purpose, confidence. I believe in saving money. We've got a whole list of things that we believe in. And really, again, back to the point is we want to have a company and a community where when people join, they are never disappointed. As far as we can control, we don't want to disappoint anybody. And we don't want people to come to a place where they say to themselves, oh, this looked good on the front end, but now, a few months later, 6 months later, a year later, I don't know about this. We don't want that to happen. So we're building a place that we can all live in alignment and act out our purposes and missions in life. So anyway, that's the introduction to why we started this company. And I want to just give you a quick overview of our products and our comp plan, and show you how to get started on the fastest way possible to begin growing residual income. And if you're already growing it, maybe grow it a little bit faster, a little bit better. So we're going to give you a plan for how to do that. And then we're going to leave some time for Q&A. So I'm going to share my screen here real quick and just show you what we've got. So the first thing, I guess, to be aware of is one of the taglines we have in our company is freedom faster. And what that means is, I know it's that's pretty self-explanatory, Paul. Why do you need to explain it? We want to help you be free faster. And, again, as I've talked about, freedom is from residual income. And we want to help people earn residual income sooner rather than later. So one of the ways that we do that is we pay 80% commission on all sales you make. So if you like what you see here today, if you're looking at this for the first time, great. If you just joined recently and you're kind of wanting to check out, okay, what do I have my hands on? And either category, you come to the conclusion that, oh, I love this. I want to share this with people. You can earn 80% for every customer you serve, for every customer you help, for every affiliate you gather. And in our comp plan, as I mentioned, one of our founding values is simplicity. So we didn't make it complicated. We have no point systems, volume requirements, ongoing production requirements. This is important if you want residual income. Well, we've been in companies that told us we were building residual income, but then said, if you don't produce 3 sales every month for the rest of your life, we're going to cut your income by X percentage. That's not residual, I don't think. So we don't have those requirements. If you build a business here, you deserve that income. You gathered the customer, you built the income. So why would we ever want to reduce that? We don't. We want to increase it. We don't have complicated hoops to jump through, and we also don't have multi-level payouts. So, one tier, that just means if you refer a customer, you're able to earn 80% of that sale. And that means to us that you are more in control of your income. And it's just a different model of network marketing. And again, I've been in network marketing. I had a great experience there for the most part, learned lots of great things. I love the industry. I love what it does for people. But I do have some experience there where, part of the experience is, at least for me, was if I really wanted to grow my income, I had to figure out a way to really inspire and motivate other people to grow their income. And so sometimes it felt like my income there was a little bit out of my hands, not totally, but a little bit. So that was just one of the challenges I had. So with our payout plan, and of course you can do both, and they work in perfect harmony with each other if you're in a network marketing business. But we like the idea that you can, with your own efforts and production, grow an income that can make a difference for you. So with our company, 5 customers can mean $600 a month. 20 customers can mean $2,400 a month in residual income. 40 customers can mean $5,000. 80 customers can mean $9,600. 100 customers can mean $12,000 a month. All of this is very possible and very within your hands if it's something that you choose to do. So that's the comp plan. But of course, business is about more than compensation plans. It's also about the products that you're bringing to people. And again, if you want residual income, and this is another mistake that sometimes I think people make, and maybe I've made, is that if you want your income to continue into the future, it can't just be about the income. It has to be about the products and the experience that people are having when they buy. Because here's the fact: not everyone who joins is going to go build a huge income in the next 60 days or 30 days or 90 days. It's possible, and we can show you how to do it if you're coachable and open and willing to take action, but not everyone is going to do that. And so if all you have to show someone is an income opportunity, and that's why they join, and the products aren't valuable and the products don't serve them, and that person who joined, maybe they have my experience where the first year they don't make any money. Well, if I am not making money and that's why I joined, and I'm not getting value from the products or the experience, I'm gone. I'm out of there, right? So we have to have valuable products that impact people's lives and businesses. And so with the Home Business Academy, we have 3 core products. We have the HBA Funnel Builder. This is a tool that you can use to build websites, lead capture pages, landing pages, membership sites, anything that you want to build on the internet. And this is also another important principle that's helped me in my marketing is if you are building a business from home, give you a couple quick tips here. If you're building a business from home, one thing you can do is reach out to other people who are also building a business from home. You can create marketing that attracts other home-based business entrepreneurs. And if you do that, one thing you can be sure of is that those people you're connecting with, they already like the idea of building an income from home. They already like the idea of residual income. They already are in the game, so to speak. They've already made a purchase decision to be in home business. So these types of people can be good contacts for your business. And if you're going to do that as part of your marketing, it's smart to have something where even if they love what they're doing and they don't want to make a switch to what it is you're showing them, which can be the case, it's good to have something that can serve them anyway. So what that does is that expands our target market of people that we can market to, and we can really serve a lot more people and earn a lot more income. So with us, every business on the planet needs a website. Every business on the planet, once they have a website, they need training on how to get people to that website and how to convert sales. That's where our second product comes in. And oh, by the way, the HBA Funnel Builder is $25 a month, pays $20 residual referral commission. So you can actually join our company today, if you're not already a member, for as little as $25. And I'll tell you, that's another thing I'm so excited about. I love residual income, and I've looked at my business, and I still look at my business as the opportunity for me to show someone a door to a better future. I love that idea. So with us, we have the opportunity to show someone a door to a better future where they can get started building a residual income and freeing up their time and growing as a person. They can get started for $25. That blows me away, and I love it. I think it's so exciting. Not that, you want to stay there forever, but, I just think that's so cool that we have that. So that's the Funnel Builder. It also comes with the Funnel Builders Academy, which are step-by-step training videos that teach you how to use this product. That's residual product number 1. Residual product number 2 is HBA Premium Traffic and Conversions Academy. And this is a digital education membership that has systematized all of the ideas that Mike and I and other top leaders in our community have found to be valuable in the topic of traffic, leads, conversions, sales. And so we've organized all of that. So we have free traffic methods, we have paid traffic methods. I don't know that there's any conversion strategy in the world that is not taught here inside this membership package here. And in addition to the digital training, we also have live coaching and community events. So we're live. I don't want to scare you away. You don't have to attend all these, but we're live for like 13 times a week. Every week, there to answer questions, to help, to inspire, to encourage. If there's something we can do to help you move, take that next step on your freedom journey, we are there for you. We're not here to force you to do anything. And that's another one of our values. We don't believe in force. We don't believe in manipulation. We're not here to push our agenda on you. Why? Because we've experienced some of that in the past and we didn't like it. It didn't feel good. So in the Home Business Academy, we want to create a community where everything is at your fingertips to create the success that you want to create, and that it's up to you to do it. There's no shame if you don't do it. There's no shame if you don't do it as fast as someone else. There's no judgment on any of that. So if we can just be here for you, give you good information, give you good ideas, answer your questions, and then you decide that you're going to take that and run with it, we will applaud you and support you, but we will never force you or manipulate you to take the path that we think you should take. Because at the end of the day, we're all on our own paths and we're all the own best deciders of what's going to create our better futures. So this product is $125 a month and pays $100 residual income. So both of these products, if you own both of them, you can earn $120 residual income per sale as showed in the chart. So we got the Funnel Builder here, Premium here, and then Combo, right? And that makes it so you can grow your residual income much faster. And we have one final product, and the final product is what's called the Financial Literacy Academy. And, I've been talking a lot about residual income here today. And that's because if you can't tell yet, we love the idea of residual income. So with the Financial Literacy Academy, this is not a recurring product. What it is it's a product that can help you take the money you earn here or in whatever other areas you're earning money and put it into places where it can compound into even more residual income. Mike mentioned debt elimination. We have incredible debt elimination strategies that can help you get out of debt quicker. That's part of being free. We've got tax strategies, bookkeeping, how to keep books, retirement planning, all kinds of just really valuable information here for stepping into that last quadrant that I mentioned earlier of an investor. That the information in that Financial Literacy Academy is how I was able to retire in my early 40s. And when I say retire, I don't mean, sit on a rocking chair all day, every day, never do anything. What I mean is my work is 100% optional. And even my business could go away, which thankfully I'm earning a great income, a great residual in the business, but even the business could go away and I still have enough residual income to more than cover my family's expenses. That's retirement. And so everything taught in that product is how I did that, how I thought about it, what I looked for. And I think that can be a great value to you. And from an income standpoint, the value of that product from an income standpoint is you can earn higher commissions from the customers that you introduce to our company. So, that product is $1,000 retail, pays 80% commission. And we like to help people always get great benefits and special offers if we can. So the FLA, when you join the Home Business Academy, if you join or if you've already joined and decide you want that product within 3 days of joining, you can buy it for $500, a 50% discount, and then earn $400 commissions for every customer that then buys that product. So that just allows you to get faster injections of cash while you're growing your residual income. I mean, the 80% residuals are pretty fast in and of themselves. Many of the businesses that I built in the past, I would earn $3 residual, $5 residual, maybe $10 residual at the max. And so with us, $120 is like 10, 15, 20 times that amount. So that's already faster. But if you want even more, upfront money, that's what the FLA product is for, in combination with the value of the product. The other thing that I want to mention about the Home Business Academy that I absolutely love, and I'll share this with you here. When Mike and I started the company 6 years ago, and by the way, for wondering, we are having a lot of success. It's proven. What we're doing is proven. We've paid out over $4 million in commissions already. We've helped over 1,200 people earn income online, which, going back to what I was saying about the seed in the tree, like if someone would have told me that when I was living in that single wide trailer house, making $11 an hour in that used car, struggling financially, not happy with my situation, wondering what does life have in store for me. If someone would have told me, Paul, someday you're going to help over 1,200 people earn income on the internet, I'd have thought they were nuts. It blows my mind. What's possible when we have a purpose, have a dream, and refuse to quit and keep going, through the challenges. It's amazing. And I would encourage, everyone here, again, whether you join us or not, whether you stay with us or not, if, let's see, I lost my train of thought, so I'll have to come back to that. Stay tuned for that cliffhanger. I'm sure the thought will return. That doesn't happen often, but right in the middle of my thought, I lost it. So the thing that I was going to show you, though, is this email that we got from Jessica at Feed My Starving Children. So we decided, as I was saying earlier, Mike and I decided that we wanted a business that was profitable, that helped people grow residual income quickly, but that also they could feel really amazing about. And the way you feel amazing about your business, part of it is being in alignment, like I mentioned earlier. But here's the second part, I think, is that we believe giving back is an important part of the prosperity equation. Long-term prosperity. You can be prosperous short-term, you can make money quickly, but long-term, I think it's important to give back. Churches have tithing, where you take a certain percentage of your income and you give it to the church. I've read lots of books from very successful people who believe in the same concept. They just don't call it tithing. They talk about giving back. Planting good seeds in the universe tends to ensure a future good harvest. So as a community, we take a portion of all the income that we bring in, all the revenue, and we send it to Feed My Starving Children, and then they use it to go feed kids in the world. So just the other day, we got this message: Freedom Crusaders are amazing. Freedom Crusaders, what can I say? In June alone, you provided 14,345 nutritious meals to children and families in need. Wow, absolutely awesome. Thank you for working so hard and feeding kids. We are beyond grateful for you, for each and every one of you. So in our company, I want to show you, if you log into the members area and scroll to the bottom, you'll see the grand total. So far since we started, 239,970 days of meals that we have provided. And when I get those messages, I cannot tell you how good they make me feel. Like I feel they just light me up, and they help me to know that, oh, wow, we're doing such good things in the world, and it makes me more motivated and excited to keep going and keep building the business. And that thought that left me came back to me. So here it is. I want to pass this along. I think this is great advice. Again, whether you join us or not, one of the phrases that I picked up from Robert Kiyosaki when he was talking about meeting his mentor. He had a mentor named Buckminster Fuller. Have you ever heard of Buckminster Fuller? That's kind of an obscure name that you may not have heard about. Buckminster Fuller was a fascinating character who developed the geodesic domes. I don't know if you've ever seen those. He was a scientist. He was an inventor. But anyway, Robert Kiyosaki was at an event that he was doing, listening to him speak, and Buckminster Fuller uttered the phrase, "What can I do? I'm just a little guy." And Robert Kiyosaki said he heard that phrase and he thought, "Oh, what can I do? I'm just the little guy. What can I do? I'm just a little guy. What can I do? What can I do as a little guy or a little gal?" And Robert Kiyosaki set out on a path to answer that question for himself. And now he's his book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, I believe is one of the top selling business books of all time. He's got, games, cash flow games that have helped people all over the world learn money. He made an impact on me with the things that he taught me, about investing and pipeline income. And he motivated me as I was reading his books. And he's had that impact all over the world. And he also is very, 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 very wealthy. What can I do? I'm just a little guy. So the advice that I think is good, that I've tried to follow, that's been helpful for me, is rather than judge your future, like rather than say, look at the future or look at a business and say, oh, that wouldn't work for me. How do you know it wouldn't work for you? You don't know, and people do this all the time, oh, there's Paul driving a Tesla. I could never have that car. I could never pay cash for that car. How do you know without trying? You don't. And that's the point. None of us know what we're capable of. But if we are willing to ask the question and then live out finding out the answer, then we discover what's actually true, what's actually possible for us. So my advice to you would be, ask yourself that question. What can I do as a little guy or a little gal? And go on the journey. Go on the journey. I think you'll astound yourself of what is possible just living into that question and being on that journey of discovery. So back to the point here, as I got off track a little bit. We call ourselves Freedom Crusaders, by the way. Freedom Crusaders is a term that we love, the idea of crusading for freedom. And, this is another thing that we want to do. We want to inspire people to go for freedom, whether they're doing it with us or whether they're doing it somewhere else. We think building freedom is a good thing. We think families get better as more freedom is created. People get better as more freedom is created. The world gets better as more freedom is created. So we want to inspire that. And another thing that I think we, want to do that's tangential is, as I was looking at the Freedom Crusader title, you can be a Freedom Crusader inside the Home Business Academy or out. And, we want to create unity. We don't want to divide. We don't want to separate. We don't want to say this group is better than this group, or, hey, because you're with us, you're better. We don't want to do that. I was watching a movie with my family last night. The movie's called Divergent. Really interesting movie. Has anyone seen that? Comment below if you've seen that movie. Has some interesting themes in it. But one of the phrases that popped up in the movie was, if they can't categorize you and they can't separate you into a group, they can't control you. The movie was all about like deciding, okay, here's Clive. Clive is this kind of person, and I am going to put Clive in this bucket. And Amy's this kind of person, and I'm going to put her in this bucket. But then there were characters in the movie who were like, well, I don't want to just be in this bucket. I feel like I have intelligence. I feel like I have empathy. I feel like I have all these other things. And I don't fit in that bucket. And those were the divergent ones, and in society, it feels a little bit like that. Sometimes we want to be put in buckets. But yeah, if they can't divide you, they can't control you. In America, and we have customers and affiliates all over the world, but in America, in the Pledge of Allegiance that we say at our school board meetings every week, actually, it's not in the Pledge of Allegiance, or is it? United we stand, divided we fall. United we stand, divided we fall. And there's a lot of division in the world. And we want to create unity. We want to bring people together and realize that we all get better if we don't, separate. And if we can have a love for people, we want to have a love for all people as much as we can. So that's kind of just a little bit bigger of some of the message that we want to kind of inspire in the world outside of, the business activity. But those are our 3 products. And again, as I mentioned earlier, if you're looking at this for the first time and you're liking what you're hearing, you can get started for just $25. There's a green button below this video that you can click. And if you have questions and you're here live, we're happy to answer those questions. What do you do once you've gotten started? Once you click that green button? Well, the first thing is you'll see a video with Mike Hobbs, my business partner here, who gave me that great introduction, where he will take you by the hand and show you how to get everything set up. You'll want to get your login set up for your training here. This is your members back office. You'll want to get set up on the Funnel Builder tool, which is here. And you'll want to set up your affiliate account if you're going to grow an income with us. And Mike walks you through all of that step by step. Once that's done, you'll want to start in one of 2 different places to begin the next part of your journey. If you're with us to grow a residual income with our affiliate program, then you'll want to start here in the affiliate zone. And this is just a set of fast start videos that helps you get up and running quickly, even helps you make some of your first sales. One of our members the other day just posted that he takes these screenshots that we have and posts them every month or so. And he always gets people, Jason Lee Brothers, I think is his name. He always gets people reaching out to him, looking at what, we're doing. So these things work, they work for when you're getting started. And as Jason's using them, they continue to work for helping to gather customers. So the fast start is where you want to begin if you want to make money with us on the affiliate side. And if you're looking at what we have, and maybe you've already got a business and you're thinking, wow, that $25 funnel builder looks pretty amazing. I'd like to use that for my business. That traffic and conversions course and coaching looks amazing. I'd like to use that for my business. Then the best place to start after you click the button below and get started and get everything set up would be here in the Funnel Builders Academy. This is where you'll learn how to use the tool for whatever purposes you have in mind for your business and your future. So let's see here. What other things did I miss, Mike? We've got the 4G marketing plan. So after you get started and you go through some of the getting started steps and you're wondering, how do I grow my business on a daily basis? We have 4 steps that have helped us and we believe will help you. Every day you want to grow a little bit. That could be as easy as reading a book or going through a module. Every day you want to give a little bit of value back to the world. Could be a social media post, could be an email, could be a video on YouTube, could be a podcast episode, could be a conversation where you talk to someone and lift them up, give value. So grow, give value. And then we want to generate leads every day as we're working our businesses. And we want to convert sales every day as we're working our businesses. And the last thing I'll talk about, and then we'll open it up for questions and comments from the group here. We also want to utilize leverage and help you utilize leverage in the best way we possibly can. So we're a community that believes in high tech, where you can utilize technology to produce more results and bigger results and faster results, because technology is exciting and it's advancing now faster than it ever has with artificial intelligence. So leverage is important. It frees up your time, gets you better results. So we believe in that concept, but we also believe in high touch. And high touch just means we also believe, in addition to the leverage and the automation and the tools, we also believe in the human connection, that it's good to have people relating with each other and engaging with each other. And so, we have leverage processes in place to help you as you continue to grow your income. And that comes in the form of, what we call the first part of the SG 4G freedom formula. So I mentioned the 4Gs. I already explained those. So the SG part means after you get started, you're going through the training. If you have a question, we want to encourage you to utilize the system, which means you come to what we have here in the members area, and you say to yourself, is the answer to my question contained in the products? And if it is, we would love for you to find that answer there. What a lot of people do is they don't go through the products, and then they come into the Facebook group and they ask all kinds of questions that would be answered if they would go through the product that they purchased. So that's the first part of our system. We also have an artificially intelligent friend here called Sage, and you can access Sage at any time by going to hbahelp.com, and Sage will answer lots of questions for you. Login help, community event schedule, affiliate link is not working. These are some of the ones that pop up, but you can ask Sage any question, how to add new domain. I can ask Sage. And then Sage says, did you mean extra funnel, add new page to site, domain purchase? Yeah, I was actually thinking about extra funnel. How do I do that? Click on that. This video can help you with that. So we invested a lot of time and resource into developing this service here. And the reason we did is because it's leverage. It's leverage. If your customers and your team members can get their answer in the products or from Sage, they now do not have to send you a personal message and take your time. So, we want to go through those steps. If you can't find your answer there, the next step is the high touch, the groups. So S system, G groups. And I already mentioned that we have lots of group stuff going on all throughout the week. And you can find access to all of the group things we do right here in the FAQ. What's the schedule for community events? Click that here. You can see all of our community events, and you want to come into the groups and ask questions that you have. We do one event called the TNC Mastermind, which is every day, Monday through Friday. And we're live showing you what we're working on in our businesses and also answering questions. If you're not able to attend this live, we have a link here that you can submit your question and we will answer it on the Zoom. And then you can catch the replay when you have the time to catch the replay. So I think that's it. Thank you so much for being here. Whether you're, again, looking at this for the first time and considering joining with us, we hope you'll make the best decision for you. And we would be thrilled if that decision turned out to be with us here in the Home Business Academy on our mission of freedom through principle-centered leadership. And if you've already joined and you're a new member here today, welcome. We love you. We're so glad you're here. We are here to serve. We're here to do our best to lift you and help you along on your journey. And we sincerely appreciate your trust. So Mike, I'll bring you out. Did I miss anything that you want to add? And then we can check some of the questions here.
Great service. I was going to say job. We're so conditioned to say job, right? And what we do here is a service. So just so everyone knows, this is a home-based business that you can build 100% from home with like-minded entrepreneurs, and it's just fun to build something with other people. I'll just tell you that when I first got online, I was alone. The first thing that I did, it was weird because in 2007, I joined my first MLM and we had meetings, right? We had weekly meetings. I had an upline who went out with me and showed me how to do it. And so it was like a personal business. And all of a sudden I get online and everyone was like, oh, automated system, and I get on this phone call and they're just telling you that, to plug into the automated system. And there was no personal help at all. And the personal help was thousands of dollars. And so one thing that we wanted to be the change was, instead of focusing on automating everything, we wanted to focus on automating as much stuff that needs to be automated, and then have the personal human touch at the same time. So high tech, high touch, right? And that's what we have. That's why we do the Zooms. So one thing, I don't know if we mentioned, I know you mentioned that we did 13 masterminds, but you can work with us every day, if you want to. If you have the time, you can plug into a Zoom every day and work with us every day. If you want, you don't have to. Some people watch the replays. Some people can, ask a question if they can't make it to the live, and then we'll answer it on the replay. That's an option for everybody too. But you won't find that in other systems. Okay. And if you do, it's for a short period of time. I just want to show you guys one thing. When you go into the back office of HBA, you'll notice that, we don't just do a daily mastermind and just say that we're doing just to say that we can do a daily mastermind. We have been consistent with daily masterminds. So check this out. If you go to HBA Premium and you click over here under let's see, the high value bonus trainings, daily audio goldmine archive. Check this out. We have audios since December of 2011. Every single day. So I want you guys to think about that. 2011. Every day. Do you think that we've already proven that we can be consistent? Right?
We're trying to find out what we can do as little guys still. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So that is, and I challenge you to find a system, a program that have done that many masterminds with people, real people. No, everybody else is focused on automation. And I know this because I paid $30,000 for a coaching. And when I told him I was doing a daily webinar, and this was back in 2013, I was doing a daily webinar in 2013 as well, by the way. So this is prior to HBA, guys. Like HBA wasn't even in existence at this point. But I was doing a daily webinar and he's like, that's crazy. Like you're spending way too much time. And kind of like that same thing when Paul talked to the tax guy that did the FLA some of the FLA training, the guy that did the tax training. We're talking to him. We're like, yeah, we pay 80% commission. He's like, you need to stop that. That's crazy. So doing daily webinars is crazy to one coach who's made multiple 8 figures online, and paying 80% commission is crazy to someone who's the top person in the tax world. So we've already been told we're crazy by 2 top people, right? And but we're here doing it anyway. We want to be the crazy ones, right? We want to be the ones that value people and serve people. That's what we're here to do. It's not just about making money. We could build an automated system and make more money probably because it would convert better, right? If everything was 100% automated, you do nothing, it would convert better. And then people would be disappointed and hate us 10 years from now. Versus we have people who started plugging into the HBA in 2011, even though HBA wasn't here, and they're still here, right? That's what we want. We want to make a lasting change, a lasting impact, not just say something to convert to sale. And you see these programs out there all the time. They say whatever they need to say to convert a sale. Maybe they have great products, but they say whatever it needs to say to make a sale, and then they disappoint people. And even if the product is the best thing on the planet, they quit it. Why? Because they're disappointed. Right? So we need to build quality products and work with the people, serve people, and be here long term. And I think we've proven that we can be here long term already. I don't know how much more proof you need that we're going to be here long term. Just look in the daily archive, right? We're here and we're here to stay. So anyway, that's all I got, Paul.
I was talking to Amy Starr Allen the other day, and she was telling a story about how she had gotten all the way out of home business, and she was doing client work. And the reason she got all the way out of home business is because she'd been disappointed so many times with building residual income. So she just quit and got out and wasn't building residual income. And she said, as she was doing client work, she was trading time for dollars. And she was telling the story about how her father, when he was transitioning to the next life, she was there by his bed with him, but then she would have to leave and go get some client work done and then come back and then leave. And she came across us and our message, and she got inspired to have faith again in building a residual income. And so she joined and created an amazing business. She's a Oak benefactor, which is a recognition level we have for our affiliates, which means through her production, she's helped to provide 5,000 days of meals to kids in need throughout the world. But she also has built a freedom income, as she said. She said, now I have residual income. I can go do my walks on the beach. I can take trips. I don't have to worry about being somewhere and doing client work. And when she told that story, I was so touched and reminded as to, again, like why we started the Home Business Academy. And it relates to what Mike was just talking about. There needs to be an example in the world of people who don't quit, who can be trusted, especially on the path of growing a residual income from home, because residual income is such an amazing idea. Personal development is such an amazing idea. Contribution to the world is such an amazing idea. And so I think it is a tragedy that so many people get soured on the path of building a life of freedom because their trust was violated somewhere. And it's very common for trust to be violated. So as I think about the HBA and what we're all striving to do here, I just keep thinking to myself, there needs to be an example in the world, and there needs to be a place where people can grow residual income and feel safe and feel like their future's in good hands and not be, driven off. So yeah, thanks, Mike. Okay, well, do you guys have any questions for those of you who are here today, or any and by the way, thank you so much for everyone who's leaving comments in the chat. Shanika, Calvin, I'm really Tracy. I'm very appreciative. We're very appreciative of these comments. Not only do they help us to feel like we matter and that what we're doing is helpful, which is the goal, but they also provide testimonials that we can use in our emails when we're inviting, or whatever, we can share these. Hey, this made a difference for someone, and that's a great thing to do in marketing too. By the way, whatever it is you're wanting someone to do, look for benefits, and especially benefits that are expressed by people who did the thing that you're wanting someone else to do. So if I want people to watch this mastermind replay today, a good thing to do would be to screenshot all of the comments from the people here who said, I'm so glad I came. This was so valuable, and then I put that in my emails. Now, when I send that email out, people are much more likely to actually go and watch and have the experience. So let's see. Questions. I don't see any. We actually do. So Geo says, yes, the manifesto and Freedom Fest missed. Yes, I did skip the manifesto. I don't think we'll take the time to read it at this point, but I will post it in the chat. And if you guys are watching the replay, you can find the manifesto at thehomebusinessacademy.com/manifesto. So, Jim Rohn said, your philosophy is the major determining factor in how your life works out. That's our philosophy. And that has helped us, again, get to where we are today. And we think that's a great philosophy for people to live and do business by, to create success long-term. And then Freedom Fest, we do have I think I'll skip that one because today is for, partly for people who are looking at joining us for the first time. So, we don't want to overload people too much. But thank you, Gio, for those reminders. Let's see, questions. TJ says, would you please give some examples of value we can offer? Sure. Part of it, there's a couple different approaches. You can approach it from a target market standpoint. So if you have a group of people in mind that you want to serve, you can create content for those people. Like we have affiliates who, they're single moms building a business from home, and they want to attract other single moms who are frustrated with their current situation and who want more out of life. So that affiliate would be a good idea to share content that would speak to that target market. The journey of a single mother, the journey of building a residual income online as a single mother, inspiration for single mothers. So that's one approach. Another approach is you grow, as we talked about in our formula, and then you share what you're learning as you're growing. So if I read a great idea in a book and it really lights me up and I'm like, oh, this is so good. I can click live on Facebook and I can say, hey guys, hope you're having a great day. This is Paul. Holy cow. I just read something in a book that was amazing and it's made a big difference for me. And I think it might be able to make a difference for you. And I want to share it with you. Share the idea. Share the tips. If there's 3 or 4 tips, you can share those. Share a story. I've shared so many stories over the years of experiences I've had with my kids, like I did today with my son. And, that's value. As long as there's a lesson, a nugget, it's value. And that's a great storytelling tip also, by the way, is, you never want to tell a story where someone is at the end and they're like, well, what's the point? Like, why did you tell me that story? You want to tell stories where someone gets to the end and they're like, I got something. Thank you. And what are they getting? They're getting inspiration. They're getting education. They're getting entertainment. We have a Rely formula that's taught in premium as a guide for what is value. And R is results. So we've got results, entertainment, education, lifestyle, inspiration, and engagement. And engagement is just talking to people, whether it's on social media, on a live, or in a chat box, or on a phone call. That's engagement. So hopefully that's helpful, TJ. And another idea that is helpful for me over the years is I imagine that my life is like a night sky, and there are stars that pop up in my life throughout my day. And what I want to do in my content is pay attention to what's happening in my life, what I'm learning, what I'm experiencing, what's inspiring me. And if I find one of those little nuggets, I grab them and then I share that in my content. And that's a way you can really work your business into your lifestyle. And I think it can be very, very harmonious when we do that. Elva says, thank you for the question, TJ. If I were to create a new funnel page, example, Mike's offer for the 4G marketing plan, is the offer included? Create a new, so I'm not sure.
I think in the lead magnet training, I may have put a link to the 4G checklist I had, which is basically just our 4G marketing plan type of thing. You could use that if you want. The idea was just to show you an example of a lead magnet you could create, but I would model it. I wouldn't just use it copy and paste if you're gonna create a lead magnet, or just use the done for you stuff that we give you. And then once you have some results and some value to share, then come up with your own little PDF that you would like to give away based on a strategy you've actually used, versus like my strategy, you can use yours, and give that away for free. That's usually what I do.
Thanks, Mike. And Elva, let us know if that answered your question. I see you shaking your head. Yes. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. And Linus asks a great question that I was going to mention and I forgot. So I'm so sorry. Thanks for reminding. What is the money back guarantee in case the customer would change mind? So it's 3 days. So, if you're looking at this for the first time and you're like, hey, this sounds good, but I'm not 100% sure, you can click the button below, fill out the form, join, get started, and you have 3 days to look at everything behind the scenes. And if for whatever reason you don't absolutely love what you find, I would be surprised because our goal has been and still is to make it so you love it and have an amazing experience. But if by chance that was your experience, you can get a refund, you can cancel, and you can do that easily. You don't even have to talk to anyone. You just go to hbahelp.com and type in your request, cancel or refund, and you'll be on your merry way. And we will miss you and wish you the best. So that's the refund policy. So again, thanks for asking about that. Nelson says, I just put the 5 done for you emails on to get response last night with Michelle Toglas. My question is, what leads before shooting out these emails? Was there an option to lead to that? I'm not sure I understand your question, Nelson. Do you want to unmute and ask it here on the mastermind?
Yeah, we were discussing between both of us when we were trying to build it up, and then I said, how can we use it? Do we just and then we saw that there is send text message in each of the emails that we created with get response. And so I said, okay, do we need to click that little thing and in order to send it out individually? But isn't it automated when we do this? And then I guess let's say a client try to understand who we are and so forth. At what stage can this automation kicked out? That's my
gotcha. So it's as soon as they go to your website and put their name and email in and click the button, the autoresponders will start to go out.
Yeah, but isn't it that we also put the let's say the all-in-one $25, and then when they click, they reach to a decision making. Yes, I want it, but and then they join already. So all these 5.
For new members, you're talking about for new members,
right. Yeah.
So you're saying at what point does the new member autoresponder sequence get triggered?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So are you using Amy's, the one that Amy gave you? Is that the one that you've set up? Because right now, the done for you emails are for leads. They're not for new members. So you connect it to your get response. You connect get response to your capture page. When someone puts their name and email in, that triggers the first email. And then the next day, the next email goes out. And the next day, the next. So you don't do anything there. When you get a new member join, you can add them to a new list if you want. If you have a different autoresponder series to send them, then you would set that up on a different list. And then you would manually add people who join to that list in your GetResponse account. But right now, the emails, unless you're using Amy's that she created for new members, there's not a new member email autoresponder series unless you're using Amy's.
Okay, I'll look into that. And so logically, if I hear it right, then isn't it that someone who wants to know more, in other words, by clicking, and then we will trigger that to send. Am I right?
Your capture page triggers the emails.
Okay.
So you send out your capture page with the name that asks for the name and email. That's what triggers the emails.
Right.
Yeah. The autoresponders trigger when someone subscribes to your email list. Okay. And so that can happen on a prospect side. So prospect looks all in one business. Ooh, this looks good. Hey, Nelson, here's my name. Here's my email. Now I'm going to get your autoresponder sequences that are designed for your prospects. For a new member, same thing. It would be triggered if your new member put their name and email in a team lead capture page, or you went in and put their email on that list yourself in your autoresponder account. So that's something I've done over the years is when a new customer joins, I'll just log into my GetResponse account and I'll add them manually to my team list, and then they will get those messages.
Okay. I hear you then. All right. Thank you.
Great. Yeah. You're welcome. Thanks, Nelson.
It was so good. It was so good to have Michelle working together. Last night we worked until 2:30 or something like that.
Which Michelle?
Michelle Talkless.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
She's the one actually I got involved with HBA.
Oh, you did? High five. Yeah. Congrats. Yeah. Awesome. And welcome, Michelle. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So you've already gathered your first customer, which means you're almost in profit and your account is about free.
Right.
With the, awesome. Very cool. So I see maybe 2 more questions and then we'll call it a wrap because we're an hour and a half in today, but no worries. We'll be back next week. if you want to hang out some more. Amy says also, she said, thanks, Mike. Also, if people are clicking, that doesn't necessarily mean they are putting their email address, correct? Yes, that is correct. I seem to be getting clicks, but I don't know if they're leaving their email address. So Mike, do you want to talk about how you know if they left their email address?
Yeah. So one thing to just think about too is if you're getting clicks in Samcart back office, like your HBA affiliate back office. And by the way, when we say Samcart, don't go buy Samcart because we just use it for our affiliate program. So you're actually joining the HBA affiliate program via Samcart in our back office. But anyway, so if you see clicks in there, there's no opt-in box on those links. So what you want is you want clicks to your capture page. So just make sure you're sending people to your capture page. That's the page that says put your name and email in for more information in your funnel builder tool. So if you're sending traffic to the capture page, that's where you're going to collect leads. If you're sending traffic to your sales page in the Samcart affiliate area, that's not going to give you leads ever, because that's just yeah. So which page is that, Amy? I can't see it. Yeah, so that page is your Samcart affiliate link. So there's no opt-in form on that page. So if you scroll down, you'll see there's no email box for them to. So there's no way you'll ever get an email if you use that page. So you want to use the capture page that leads to that page. Does that make sense?
I'm glad you asked that question, Amy, and I'm glad Mike went a little further into it, because I don't know that I would have hit that. So that's a good catch. Does that make sense, Amy? Capture page, which collects the lead, then it goes to the sales page, which is the one you're looking at now.
Yeah, just anytime anyone ever tells me they got clicks and no emails, I always assume they're sending to the sales page first, because you don't even see clicks unless you're logging in. So.
And it might be okay to send that sales page from time to time. Like if I'm connecting with someone on social media in a chat box and they tell me they're open to looking at something, I sometimes will just send that sales page. But if you want to collect the lead, you want to send the lead capture page. Does that make sense? So if you send the sales page without the lead capture page, you're agreeing and committing to do all of the follow-up personally, rather than allow the emails to, do the work. And, that's not the worst idea. Like, you can increase conversions by engaging with people, because, marketing is about striving to put a message together that speaks to a lot of people. That's what your autoresponders are. Your capture page is like, hey, can I get a lot of people here and have a message that speaks to them and then helps them, see the value and then make the sale. And you can do that and create great results. That being said, each person really is an individual. So that just means that as much as we do sometimes try to put people in categories and buckets to speak to, each person does have individual dreams and problems. And so anyway, if you engage with people and listen, sometimes you can close sales faster rather than, I'm just going to let the emails do it. Neither one is right or wrong. Just good to be aware. So. All right, everybody. Well, I think we're good to go. So thank you so much for being here today. You guys are awesome and amazing, as Pat Simpson says. And we appreciate you guys if you're already members. And if you haven't joined yet, we don't appreciate you at all. Just kidding. Just kidding. We do appreciate you. Thanks for your time. And I would love to invite you to click the link right below this video, get started. We'd love to welcome you on the other side and hopefully be a catalyst into helping you create the future that you desire and make a huge positive impact on the world. So love everyone. Thanks, Mike, for all the great help today. And we'll see you back here Monday on our next special mastermind.
Thank you.
Yay, can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.